It's a new day. Everyone is getting up at different times, and the morning unfolds differently for everyone on board here at Privateer Bay. It is quiet this morning. Being a bit remote provides the experience of we have the entire area to ourselves. We have procured some ice from the delivery boat, and we will refresh the ice chest to keep the beverages chilled. The dinghy floats peacefully behind the boat, and waking up to see our dinghy is a welcome sight. There have been too many dinghies turning up missing all around the Caribbean, including the BVI. Under the boat is busy with activity from the local fish who hang out in the shade of the boat for protection from predators above, which are mainly birds. We are still on a mooring ball, and as you know, the boat naturally points into the wind, so raising the main while we are still on the mooring ball can make sense. Phyllis continues to work and is undisturbed by the noise and the activity on deck. Out here at Privateer Bay, there are no boats behind us, so when we untie and drift back, there is no risk of hitting another vessel. Claus raises the main, with me using the boat hook to prevent the battens from getting caught into the lazy jacks. Some say that sailing requires a lot of work. Yes, it does require some effort. However, after getting familiar and used to the requirements, it becomes a natural part of the day. The upside is that once underway and the sails are trimmed, the boat is making way with wind power. It becomes a magical, present experience that is difficult to replicate. The Admiral oversees it all as we get ready.
Are you ready? Yeah.
We have cast off and are under mainsail power. The caves are in the background, and it is another lovely morning. The Genoa comes out, and it's all coming together. The most important thing to do now is relax and enjoy the ride. Actually, even when I'm relaxing, I am watching our course, the trim on the sails, and the maritime traffic near and headed in our direction. We are sailing across the Sir Francis Drake Channel as we are sailing upwind to Cooper Island. As we are sailing, we can see the ship in the distance offloading new boats for the BVI. We suspect that Klaus's new boat arrived on that vessel. Dennis is taking his turn at the helm as we sail upwind to Cooper Island from Norman Island. Once the sails were up, Captain Claus and Dennis did all the sailing. We made many tacks back and forth to work our way up the channel. The rest of us just enjoyed hanging out, doing almost nothing at all, which is another lovely aspect of sailing. Going somewhere at a leisurely pace and enjoying the sights, sounds, and each other. We are on a mooring ball at Cooper Island, and Theresa is out paddleboarding. Paddleboarding is kind of like going for a walk on the water, except that there is no walking. You just stand there, paddle a little, and your board carries you across to your destination. It's a nice experience, floating along taking in the surroundings, and Theresa is coming back from her paddleboarding adventure. We are going for a snorkel at Cistern Point at Cooper Island. Oddly enough, the water clarity is not great this week. There was mention of some kind of algae in the area. Clearly you can see the debris in the water, and while it was nice to swim about, there wasn't much to see today. Voyager upon life's sea, to yourself be true, and whatever your lot may be, paddle your own canoe. Never though the winds may rave, falter or look back, but upon the darkest wave, leave a shining track, paddle your own canoe. Nobly dare the wildest storm, stem the hardest gale, brave of heart and strong of arm, you will never fail. When the world is cold and dark, keep your aim in view, and toward the beacon work, paddle your own canoe. Would you crush the giant wrong in the world's free fight, with a spirit brave and strong, battle for the right, and to break the chains that bind the many to the few, to enfranchise slavish mind, paddle your own canoe. Nothing great is lightly won, nothing won is lost. Every good deed nobly done will repay the cost. Leave to heaven in humble trust all you will to do, but if succeed, you must paddle your own canoe. It's a lovely evening with the scenic background, light winds, and the setting sun.
Although I did get all dressed up, I was like...
It is our last night, and now we are at Cooper Island. This is where the trip started for Claus, Theresa, Dennis, and Phyllis. Tonight, we are going ashore for dinner at the Cooper Island Beach Club. This young boy finds something interesting that he wants to show her. She wants it, but he does not give it to her. She rejects him and he walks away like he doesn't care. But he cares. What else is a guy supposed to do? We had a nice dinner tonight with Dennis, Theresa,
Here I am.
Klaus,
Sunglasses on.
Georgia,
But at the same time, it's like...
me, and of course Phyllis. The Cooper Island Beach Club serves an amazing meal, and our evening was not over yet. Now we are off to the rum bar, which is amazing. We spent our last evening on a mooring ball at Cooper Island. This morning we will make our way to the moorings dock. This is our last motor before we get to the base, unfortunately. We are approaching the mooring base. Klaus is in communication with the base, and they have provided instruction as to which slip will be ours. It's warm today. Disney treasure. Now we can set up the lines and fenders on the correct side of the boat. One of the nice things about having guests on board is that they all get to help with setting the lines and fenders, which reduces the workload for the admiral and the captain. Klaus will ascertain the wind speed and direction, plus any tidal considerations and current, so he can formulate his approach to the dock. The dinghy is not on the davits, so it is brought forward, so that the dinghy stays out of the way and that the painter does not get fouled in the propellers. This is the approach to the mooring base in Road Town Tortola. Everything looks one way when leaving a marina and appears to look different upon return. It is always a good idea to look back when leaving so you have an idea of what you're looking to see when returning to the same location. Klaus did an amazing job of getting the boat right next to the slip. However, instead of getting the boat tied off and secure, we were allowed to drift away from the dock. I think the dock crew needs a little more training. I managed to get off the boat and onto the dock. I pulled on the spring line to get the boat to the dock. It was at that point that the dock crew got back into the game and we were able to secure the boat accordingly. The boat is now secure on the dock, and we will not be traveling on her anymore, which is always a bittersweet moment.
You guys did a good job. Good job, Theresa. Good job, Klaus. We gotta get Dennis over here.
Klaus had determined that his new boat had arrived, so we walked the dock to find it. We thought this was the boat, but after we toured the boat, Claus later identified that the HIN number was off by 1 digit. Regardless, this is how the boats arrived from the factory in South Africa. The starboard aft stateroom has all the exterior cushions. Like Klaus's boat, this is also an owner's version, meaning that one side of the boat is completely set up for the owner. Boxes of unknown boat inventory are stored in the owner's head. On the port side, we found the canvas, sails, and other gear needed for sailing. Going forward, we found the lines. It was nice to tour the boat and see it in its brand new condition. Everything was perfect. There was not a scratch anywhere. It had a new boat smell, which was really nice. Now that the boat is in the BVI, it will need to be outfitted and commissioned and made available for owner and charter use. It is time to head up to catch our cab. I would add that the moorings base is an amazing facility and that being here is very nice. Theresa is speaking with Lindsay, who works for moorings. We met Lindsay in Grenada as she and her family were on the same dock as us. Dennis, Phyllis, Georgia, and I said our goodbyes and thank yous to Claus and Theresa, and we took a cab to the Beef Island Airport on Tortola. We checked in at the airport, received our boarding passes, and had a little bit of time before we could board our flight home. The 4 of us walked down to the Loose Mongoose for a beverage and some food. Dennis and Phyllis had an earlier flight and have returned to the airport to catch their plane. Georgia and I are hanging out, relaxing, and reminiscing about our trip and how lovely it was. Our visit to the BVI had come to a close. It was a good trip, and it was great to see the BVI through the lens of other people and see some new things that we had not yet seen. The 6 of us got along great, which was terrific. It was amazing to see our friends at the Bitter and Yacht Club, albeit that it was a short visit. On Yoast, Jay and Julie had drinks on the drink board for us, which was amazing. We didn't get to see Vinny or Pizza Dave at Corsairs, but we did see Kenny delivering his mom's empanadas and such. We didn't get to see Randy at Tipsy Shark, but I did get to say hi to Leo, the dog. We didn't get a chance to go to the top of the baths, so we missed seeing Vernie. Hopefully there will be a next time. As this adventure has come to a close, it's time to get home, rest up, and make plans for some new adventures. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.